So you're planning on moving to Northern Virginia, but you're someone who loves living in the city. You love its conveniences, you love having access to things. And so the question arises, is there a place where you can have some of the benefits of living in the city while still being kind of in the suburbs of Northern Virginia? And if that's you, Falls Church City in Northern Virginia might be the place where you want to start looking. It's definitely one of the more popular places to live in Northern Virginia, and you might be asking why, but the real question is, why might Falls Church City be the right place for you? Hey everyone, this is Paul Kim with the Fast Results Group, and I am your local Northern Virginia expert. Whether you're thinking about relocating here or you're already here and you're transitioning to a new place in Northern Virginia, I'm here to provide you with all the information that you need to make a smooth move to wherever you are trying to get to. In this channel, you're going to find everything that you need to make sure that next move is going to be as smooth as possible. And so if that sounds like something that will be helpful to you and your goals, be sure to like this video and subscribe below so you can stay up to date with everything that's going on here in Northern Virginia. Now, without further ado, let's explore Falls Church City. Let's start with a little bit of introductory information about Falls Church City. The community goes all the way back to the 1600s, but it didn't become an independent city until around 1948. It's actually not a part of Fairfax County, and so when somebody talks about Nova and Fairfax County, Falls Church City is a separate entity in and of itself. Now, there are some areas in Northern Virginia that are sort of like that, and it becomes a little bit confusing. For example, there is a Falls Church City, which we were talking about today, but then there's also Falls Church within Fairfax County, which is separate from Falls Church City. But long story short, for today's purposes, Falls Church City is not a part of Fairfax County. It's an entity in and of itself. So Falls Church City is smaller in size, but that size is probably the reason why it's able to maintain some of these features that make it more city-like. And so for the rest of this video, we're going to talk about some of the pros and cons of Falls Church City, but from the perspective of you, maybe, who wants to maintain some of these city vibes, but yet still be in the quiet-ish area of suburbia. So pro number one that we have in Falls Church City is the overall location and how it's located within the vicinity of Northern Virginia and DMV proper. So if you're looking at the map, Falls Church City is pretty central to everything here in Northern Virginia, and it's very close to the DC border as well. Depending on where you are specifically within Falls Church City, you're going to be 7 miles from the DC border and less than 9 miles from the White House. Again, that could make a difference depending on where you decide to work. Falls Church City is serviced by 2 metro stations, the West Falls Church as well as the East Falls Church, which is the orange and silver lines respectively. And if you're someone who likes to fly a lot, you can get to the Dulles International Airport in 25 minutes or Reagan International Airport in just under 20 minutes as well. You're going to be about 10 to 15 minutes away from Tyson's Corner, which has one of the biggest malls in the country. You're going to have tons of shops, tons of dining. There is the Capital One headquarters. There's the Hilton headquarters that way as well. There's just going to be a lot going on that way. And last but not least, the combination of the location of Falls Church City within Northern Virginia, as well as the fact that you have the W&OD trail going basically right through it. If you're someone that likes to walk or bike or run, it's a nice way to get around where you don't have to actually get into a vehicle, but still get to the places that you want to go. Which takes us into pro number 2, and that is its walkability. So walkscore.com actually rates Falls Church City with a walkability score of 91 out of 100. And that makes it unique to most of the areas in Northern Virginia where you probably have to have a car to get to most places that you want to go. Now, part of it is in fact due to the fact that Falls Church City is just 2.2 square miles, but because of that, the walkability of 91 out of 100 really shows you can get to everything that you need to get to just by walking, maybe hop on a bike, and if you really need to, get in the car for a short drive. So within Little Falls Church City, you're still going to have a variety of grocery stores. So whether it's Giant, Aldi, Harris Teeter, or Whole Foods, you take your pick, they're all available for you. So if you actually drive through Falls Church City right now, you're going to see a lot of construction going on. They're developing a lot of apartment buildings, mixed-use buildings, where they're going to have retail on the bottom and living quarters on the top. But those are all future plans. Even right now, there's so much happening in Falls Church City within those 2.2 square miles. From top-rated restaurants to coffee houses to bakeries, things to do, it's all here in Falls Church City. Let me just share a few of my favorites of Falls Church City here with you. Cafe Kindred is probably number 1 in terms of breakfast or brunch foods. Cafe Kindred really is underrated. Godfrey's Bakery is another one of my favorite places to go in Falls Church City. Lots of great pastries, good food, great ambiance. We have a video on it separately for you to check out as well because it's that good. Harvey's is another one. Great restaurant, great food. My favorite coffee personally is at Rare Bird Coffee here in Falls Church. There's also Northside Social, there's Q Ramen, there's Ellie Bird, which is created by chefs at a Michelin star restaurant. So obviously good food. And then you also have the Eden Center, which is more than just food, even though I basically go there for food. Essentially, it's like a little Vietnam here in Northern Virginia at the edge of Falls Church City. Some of the best Vietnamese food ever. Outside of food, one of the popular places that people like to go is Cherry Hill Park. On any given Saturday or Sunday, you're probably going to find a lot of families there out there with the kids. Probably right after they spend their time shopping at the farmer's market on Saturday morning from 8 to 12. Happens all year. Very popular, great food, great produce, great items, a lot of cool things happening over there. The third reason why people like living in Little Falls Church City is because of the school system. According to niche.com, Falls Church City Public Schools is actually the #1 school district here in Virginia. It has one school systems from grade 1 through 12. And unlike Northern Virginia, where it's very, very, very easy for you to go move somewhere for a school district and then potentially have the lines redrawn so the boundaries put you somewhere else, Falls Church City, you're not really going to get that. The schools in Falls Church City are Mount Daniel Elementary, Oak Street Elementary, Mary Ellen Henderson Middle School, and Meridian High School. All very highly rated schools. And last but not least, one of the characteristics that really encapsulate a city vibe is going to be diversity. Now, I talk about diversity a lot in terms of being here in Northern Virginia, where there's different kinds of people and different kinds of cultures all across this region. But Falls Church City, within the 2.2 square miles in general, has a ton of diversity. I mean, you can already see that from the types of people that you see, the restaurants that you go to and eat all good food at. I love it. Falls Church City is arguably one of the most popular places to live here in Northern Virginia. But what are some of the challenges? Well, just like any other city or place, not just here in Northern Virginia, but across the country or even across the world, when there's a lot of people, that means there's a lot of traffic. In Falls Church City, Route 7 or Broad Street is going to be the one that's probably the most congested. Seven Corners is also going to be an area of some traffic. But the good news is, even with a lot of traffic and a lot of people, there are ways to get around some of the traffic. It's as simple as finding another method of transportation. And here in Falls Church, we do have the metro stations, East and West Falls Church Metro. You can also hop on the W and LD trail, get on a bike, or just walk in general. There's plenty of times where I just go outside, walk down the street, grab some food, walk to the next place, get some dessert, and potentially even walk home or walk to my friend's house. Small city, that kind of stuff is possible. Downside number 2 of living in Falls Church City, where it's so popular, is that housing prices sometimes go up. Let me throw out some numbers here for you to have a bit of a reference. In 2023, Falls Church City, the average sold price of a home was $967,000, and the average median price was $865,000, with the average time on the market of about 19 days. What does that mean? Houses are expensive and they still sell fast. For a little bit of comparison, we're going to use the numbers from Arlington, Virginia. And the reason we're using Arlington is because Arlington is another one of those places in Northern Virginia where people like to live because of the potential city vibes. The average sold price in Arlington is $850,000, which is a full $100,000 less than Falls Church City. And the average median is $685,000, which is almost $200,000 less than Falls Church City. And the cumulative days on market is 35 days. So the houses in Arlington are cheaper. And while 35 days on the market is still very low, it's more than Falls Church City. Falls Church City housing prices are higher than a lot of what we'll see in Northern Virginia, but the data says that that pricing is justified because of the low inventory, and the proof is the fact that it's only on the market for an average of 19 days before someone says they're going to buy it. And con number 3, which kind of ties into con number 2, is the rate of property taxes. So not only is the housing expensive, the taxes that you pay in Falls Church City are going to be high compared to others as well. So in Falls Church City, you're going to pay $1.23 per $100 of assessed value, compared to Fairfax County, which is $109 of $100, Arlington, which is $103, and the city of Alexandria, which is $1.11. And today, in a nutshell, that's basically Falls Church City. There's a lot to be happy about here, and lots that people desire when they want to move here. Like the location, the walkability to different things, the accessibility to wherever it is that you want to go, food options, housing options, all the cool stuff that you could want in a place where you want to live, it's here in Foster City. But overall, people want to move here for a reason, and one of the top reasons that most people do actually end up settling down here in Foster City is because it is the place where you get those city vibes but still have the comforts of suburbia as well. If you have any questions regarding Foster City in and of itself, how it compares to other areas in Northern Virginia, or if you have any questions regarding anything about Northern Virginia in general, call me, text me, email me. All my information is down below. Let's connect. Let's start a conversation. That's it for now. Until next time.